Welcome to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. It is a spin-off of the website and book review site of Amy's Bookshelf Reviews. Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast is about book reviews, a writer's muse, a book's peruse, author interviews, and literary news. Welcome to the new year, where new things may happen with this. I hope you all enjoy, and thank you for listening.
Good evening, listeners. I'm Amy, and welcome to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews podcast. Today, we are joined by an author. Please introduce yourself and let the audience know how they can connect with you.
Hello, my name is Zola Blue, and I'm an author, and I write a series of books. It's called the Mejurian Series, and currently it's in the book 5 of the series. I can be found at ZolaBlueAuthor.com on the web, and the Mejurian Queen on it. And
You know, until now, I pronounced the J when I would read it. So thank you for clearing that up.
it's okay. Everybody pronounces it different. I just had the thought in my mind when I did the word.
I like it. Yeah, I really. So, I mean, I've read every book in your series, and including this past one that's coming up on release on April 30th. Got some promotions already going for you. So, tell our listeners a little bit about the Mejurian series.
Okay, so it's the Mejurian series. It started off as a kind of adventure about heartbreak, but in the end of the series, it'll be about hope and faith and love by the time I end the series. So right now, book 1, it started off with 4 unique human beings that decided that they were going to kind of control their own world, which is called Ecutis. So as the book goes on, these 4 individuals are like godlike, and they kind of just disappear off, but the ones they left behind still remain. And as time goes on, they end up going to have contact with the Earthlings eventually, because they have lost their children, because right now they don't live on Earth. They're way up in outer space somewhere. So right now I'm in book 5, and book 5 is we're attaching together all of the different races I have, like the Mejurian, the Avungi, the Dragonors, the Merfay. They're all being tied back to Thire-Los. And in this book, it's just like for the reader to judge, was Thire-Los a good guy or was he a bad guy in the end? So, because each one of these, which they were creations of Thire-Los in the very beginning, they have been abandoned by him. Some were abandoned, some were loved, some they just didn't care about, And now I'm tying them back in the end for the big at the end to see how each one of them will behave when they realize that they were actually loved or hated by the same God, or Thire-Los.
Wow.
He's not a god. He's kind of like a deity, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think there will be more stories to come in this series, or is there, besides what's coming up now, I mean, is there going to be a book 6?
It will be a book 6, sure. Book 6 is where we're going to have the final confrontation between all of them, and they're going to decide whether or not they want to help or whether they're not going to help. So at that point, to help find the babies, I forgot to mention that, because the babies of the Mejurian, the creation by Thire-Los, was lost.
Right.
And as they were traveling through the heavens, and then as 2 of them were lost, and the book I had it come with, they fell to the earth behind a meteor. So they're going to have to get together and figure out how to get to Earth, number 1. So, and then at that point, we have to just want to fight the bad guy, which is Miss Garbo, the lady next door. It's getting, yeah.
I love it. I mean, I do. I love the series, and I love the pups.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to do something that wasn't so grotesque all the time when you're thinking about outer space creatures. They're
Right.
lovable, they're kind, and they don't realize it yet, but they still have the power to conquer Earth if they wanted to. So that's the thing. So I don't know, Amy, where I'll go from there. I think the last thought I have right now is just to reconnect the two with their families, the pups with their families.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I do. I really do love the pups. They're quirky and you kind of just, they are like a mix of between human behavior and puppy behavior, and I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to picture it in my head. And it's they're just. I think that they lend to the story big time. Even when it's just something they say or how they get excited or times when they just play. I just love that. So I think it's. I love every single one of the books, but yeah, I must say that they're kind of like one of my favorite. They're my favorite, like my favorite characters because they're so much fun.
Okay. I try to make them fun. I try to make it fun for the little guys on Earth because they're learning, they're babies, but they don't realize who they are yet too. So that's the thing too with them.
Yeah,
Because they know they're not.
No, go ahead.
They know they're not dogs or animals, but they recognize themselves in all these animals. The smart guy, Brackett especially, so, but he's really confused right now, so.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting because, a lot of times, I mean, in real life, we have a pet where I think of that I'm their human. So I can imagine when they, Brackett and Pinky decide or they figure out, wait a minute.
I know.
So they would really have humans. That'd be pretty interesting, and I look forward to whatever happens next for them. I think they're
Thank
great.
you. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
We could do a whole series just on them, and I would love it. So.
Yeah, I could do that. I had just never thought about it. It's just, I believe that, I was giving this, well, I'm a faith and spiritual kind of person, and I believe that, God gives us assignments. So I believe many years ago I was given this assignment. It's not anything. I've been working on the Mejurian Series for about 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the whole concept. It just comes through in my mind. So I don't know where I'll go from there. I've got the whole concept. I just got to write all over the words. I've been busy working and everything, and I would write it out here and there. And then finally, now that I'm retired, I'm trying to push the series out. So
It's like I said, it's. I loved it from the moment I read the first book. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
Every time there's another one coming, I was like, yes, I'm so excited. But yeah, I do. I love them. And even if they were like a spin-off or something, I think that would be really interesting. But I understand what you're talking about because a lot of times when I'm writing, I let my characters tell me how the story's going to go.
Right, that's how I do. Mm-hmm.
If it's too hard, then it doesn't come out real, 'Cause when you don't have to think about it, you just kind of let the characters take it away and follow through with that. I really, I think that's like, I don't know, everybody's got their own writing style and how things go, but I have found that a lot of authors that I've spoken to or even just met through email, that that's kind of what they do when they're writing their, especially fiction books, they kind of let the characters take it away. And sometimes And I always look at the setting too as a character in itself, because the way that characters would react or act if the setting was different, it changes how they would do it. Like if dogs or the pups went to a human bar, they would act differently than if they went into, a restaurant where they were,
Mm-hmm.
that was like of their own kind or something like that. There was, the setting wherever they are, and sometimes occupation or whatever, it just it brings out different sides of characters, just like it does with people. So.
Yes, that's true, and I'm totally with you. I agree with you on that too. I try to let my characters take over too. What would they say? I try to put myself in their place. What would I do if I had this personality or whatever? So,
I created after when I would get a couple drafts done, I would do a character interview, and just kind of random questions that say I would ask anybody, what they did for a living, their favorite things that they don't like, and it and with that I was able to give characters more human-like qualities, whether they were human or not.
Oh, okay. That is a good idea.
If you think about, so you take one of your characters and say you took the Captain Jonas and sat down with, what kind of questions would you ask him and how would he answer,
Oh, okay.
The thing with like Bracket or Pinky, that, it would be kind of interesting to see how they would answer questions. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, but your characters are amazing, and I was really when I read when I just got into the first chapter of Thire-Los, I was or however you pronounce it, but
Thire-Los. Yeah.
But when I was reading the first chapter, I was I just felt really bad for the captain and how he felt, blaming. He was surprised that nobody was blaming him when he was like, "It's my fault, it's my fault." And I really just, that intensity, especially in the beginning, it just kind of paved the way for the story. But you also got to see a side of a man who's supposed to, be a strong person, doubt himself. So
yeah.
I really, I like that. It was something you could relate to, because people expect if you are powerful or you are in a position where you are strong, or especially if you're a leader, you don't think of that person as having, I don't know, doubts about themselves, but everybody does.
Yeah.
I really thought that was a great way to open the story, and
Thank you.
kind of.
Well, oh, go on.
No, I was just saying, you kind of just set the path, and it was, so we're two, I'm so, the Mejurians and, the Dragoners were coming, they created this healing thing for him. I like that coming together, and, it healed his wounds, but it really couldn't heal what was going on inside his head. So and I like them being, joined together, because they're not always have to be, they realize, people can realize that they have more in common than they have not in common.
And that's one of the things I was trying to show in the book, is that, all of these guys, even though they don't realize it, they're realizing it by now, but they're all related in some kind of way. But if they didn't know their histories, they all would love each other. Even the little Bungies, they're accepting these little people sneaking in into the world. So that was kind of one of my main things that I wanted to do. And with Captain Jonas, you know, because he was cocky, professional, but he had to have a heart, so I had to give him a heart.
Yeah, and it worked. And, you know, and how you were bringing it together, and, you know, people that, you know, people, aliens, it doesn't matter, you know, race, gender, anything.
Mm-hmm.
We have more in common than we have not in common. And if we didn't know each other's history, you're right. We, you know, just be friends. We didn't know anything about that person, and you could be friends, and, or just even, you know, civil to each other. And I think that, you know, civility, you know, is something that is, I think, is mandatory for, humanity, but it's not always there.
Yeah, I agree.
But I hope people that read your book, I hope people that read your books get that. I got
Me too.
I believe in that myself. You know, I really do. I think it just takes a second to be kind or smile at someone, and even if they are angry or hateful, and if you just smile and say, "Have a nice day," they don't know what to do. I'm in a wheelchair most of the time, and I was at the grocery store. It was like a couple days before Christmas, and I was just getting a few things, and I try not to be in people's way, especially during Christmas. Everybody's in a hurry. And this man came barreling around the corner. He almost hit me, and he said, "Get the, you know what, out of my way." And I looked up at him and I said, "Merry Christmas." And he just looked at me like, "What?" Like, he expected me to, like, either ignore him or say something negative back, but I was just like, "Merry Christmas. Have a nice day."
That was good.
Yeah, he was just taking it back, so, you know, like, more people
I checked him off with kindness. I was like that one day too. Walking out the grocery store, and everybody was just grouchy for something that day. But then as I was walking, I just started smiling, and then this guy was in the back of his truck just taking something out of the truck, and I smiled at him, and this guy gave me the biggest smile back, and it was like, that made my whole day. I'm passing everybody that's like, "What's wrong with you?" Or something. Well, he gave me the biggest smile back. Yeah. And like you say, it makes your day when you're just kind to people. Anyway.
That's something that I learned. That was like, I think it was one of my most important lessons I learned from my mother. And it's not like she kept drilling it into my head, "Oh, you got to be nice or be kind." She showed me. You know, I could see it. And that was the same way. And that's how I am. I can be mean and be a jerk and whatever, but I don't want to. And even my sons learned that from me, and they didn't, and I didn't have to tell them. Sometimes parents, when their kids are little and somebody gives them something, they're like, "Say thank you, say thank you." I didn't have to do that. My kids would just do it automatically. They would hurry to grab and open a door for someone who had their hands full, or maybe they were disabled or whatever. And even when they did something wrong in school, they were very polite about it. I just think that's what it is. I actually, my words that I say, you know, be kind, be safe, and be well. Actually, I put on my T-shirts that I recently designed for myself. It helps me. I put the days of the week and to have a to-do list, and it says be kind, be safe, and be well. And that's just kind of how I've lived. And it also reminds me which day of the week it is, because I forget sometimes.
I forget too. Especially now that I'm retired. I'm like, okay.
It's private? Oh, okay. But yeah, exactly. It's just like, I tell people, I think more people should read children's books, because there's lessons to be learned and you don't even realize it.
You should. And that's what me and my husband, we watch children's movies all the time. We can't wait to see a new one that comes out. What's the new one?
Yeah. My son and I live with, my son, my two sons, they're fraternal twins, and then my one son is married, and, I live with them, and, my one son, he's special needs, but he's more grown up than I am sometimes. But we sit down, we can't wait for like the next Pixar or Disney movie to come out. We would just sit there and watch it, and I'm like, I don't care, we sit there and they watch SpongeBob and things that they watched when they were kids, and I do the same thing, and I think it just kind of, they make you feel good.
They make you feel good. You feel happy, and you see, you go through your little ups and downs, but by the end of it, you're either crying for joy or something, If I do tearjerker, I cry easy, but.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I try to see it in my, like, life, but when I'm watching a movie or I'm like, yep, waterworks, here we go.
Here we go, I know. My husband just sits there and look at me and say, okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? He doesn't cry, but I do it. He knows it's coming. But that's what children.
Yeah.
Because I think when when they're writing them still with that innocence in them, it's good for us to realize that, it's okay to be innocent sometime, and okay to be friendly, and okay to not just attack a person because they've attacked you. You just and wonder and awe at life.
Yeah, it's okay to be silly and and like me and my boys, we always we joke around with each other, and we get that, and it's just who we are. And I even have an argument with my cat. And I like unicorns. I'm a big unicorn fan. So
me too.
Oh, I go crazy.
I love unicorns.
So do I.
Got like some I collected since I was young, like in my 20s, glass ones I just got my cabinet with unicorns. Every time I see one, I try to get a different one.
I'm big on unicorns and angels. I have a lot of figurines. I like going to like thrift stores, or we have a church nearby that in November they always have a Christmas sale. Like some are used, some are still in the box, some are handmade, Christmas items galore. And I went this past November, my son and I, because we love to go there, and it was like I paid $20 for probably stuff that was worth over $100. And especially like the handmade stuff, and I'm like, oh, I love my angels, and like they stay out year round, and so
I like angels too, the wings.
Yes, me too. And unicorns, because they're magical and they're fun, and I have lots of stuffed animals and figurines. And I don't care. Sometimes go ahead.
But I was going to say, but see, that's the fun part of life. Now, we only have one to live, and over time, you just get to me where now I'm at the point like, okay, you only got this one life to live. Why be mean? Why be grouchy? Just actually do what you want to do. It's like, okay, God says be good, and you know how to do your commandments. But other than that, you can be silly sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes I just lay out on the floor.
I'm silly. I may sit in a wheelchair, but I still rock out to my music and be a little crazy. And I don't I don't apologize for myself, and
Mhm.
and I see where as like I look at, well, my mom died with young. She died when she was 44. But
Okay.
her mother, but my two grandmothers, they one lived to 89, and she died a couple of years ago. She was 101, and we were best
Oh.
friends.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was
and
wonderful.
she only passed then because she had fallen and had been laying on the floor all night. But if she hadn't fallen, who knows how much longer she would have lived. But she was still like sweeping the pine needles off her floor. And
Oh.
we talked about things, and it was just amazing. She taught me a lot about birds. We
Mhm.
loved cardinals, so it's like I wear a cardinal pin in her honor just because she was one of those that, it took a lot. She was so strong. It took a lot to get her to cry, and if she did, you knew something bad.
That just was wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. My mother was like that too. She was my rock, and I know how the losses feel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's I still talk to her. I still talk to my mom, and she's been gone over 28 years, and I still talk to her. And I just kind of know what she would say, or didn't have to say anything. She could just give me a hug. So
Mhm.
I think more people, I think it gets to a point where I get more surprised when people are kind than when they're mean.
When they're mean, I know. I know you almost expect that. Lola,
Yeah.
my little puppy, she's up here in my face.
Oh.
Yeah. I tried to describe the Miwar. I looked at all the different type dogs. Some will have a long nose, some will have a push. Some have the curly, matty hair, some have the straight. So that's how I tried to make the Miwar. By looking at all the different coats and types of dogs.
That had to be fun, though. I mean, dogs are amazing.
Yeah.
My son, he has a cockapoo, and yeah, he's part poodle and part cocker spaniel.
Uh-huh.
His name is Hyper, and he lives up to his name. But he was actually his ancestors or relatives were show dogs. But he was
Oh.
odd man out because he did his own thing. And I consider him my grandbaby. And I'll be like, my son will put the phone on speaker, and I'll say, Hyper, it's Grandma, and he gets all excited, and he's like, I can hear him. He's like, my son Robin's like, he's looking around the phone for you. Not where you are, but he is. And when he gets groomed for like a week after, he struts around like, look at me, I'm handsome.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
always tell my son, I'm like, after he gets groomed, bring him over so I can play with him.
Oh, see, and that's like Tyrion. He's one of those. He has the curly hair, so.
Oh, animals are amazing, and I find that, well, now that I've been in a chair, and when I go out, I'm like a dog mag. I mean, I'll come out I live in an apartment complex, and when they hear my wheelchair, like going down the hall,
Mhm.
the dogs on the floor will run to the door and start barking because they know it's me. And anytime I see them, they just, their owners hold real tight. But like, I have all these friends in my apartment complex, and they're all dogs. And I just love it. I'm like, wow, I don't know. It's something with the chair. Maybe I'm like, they're like curious, and then they see that, I love them, and so we are all just big friends.
Oh, I love dogs too. I have 3 dogs, 1 cat, 2 goats, and I feed some birds out here all the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have cats, and they're both disabled in some way because they were raised as kittens. And
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah, one of them had a broken tail and it didn't sit right. So he's got a bend in his tail, and he's perfectly fine, but you just can't touch that particular area. It's
On the tail, yeah.
And then the other one, he has when he was a kitten, he got somehow into somebody's disgusting oven, and all that stuff got into his eye, and he was never treated. So I at least 3 times a week, because there's nothing they can do now because he's 6 years old. And he'll have a cyst that will grow, and then it leaks, and I have to keep his eye clean and wipe it, and he hates it, but he knows that I love him and I'm doing it. And every time I do it, it makes me angry and sad that he had to do that. And he also has anxiety. He doesn't like it when people aren't around. Like when my son and his wife, they go to work, and he'll be like meowing, like, where are you? And so I have him come in my room and, cuddle that. But he's just, I've never seen a cat with such anxiety like that. And he's supposed to be my support. So, but I love him. He looks good.
That's good. Yeah. We have a little piece.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so your by the time this airs, your book will have already been out, and maybe it'll be
okay. Okay.
So
book 6.
Yeah, book 6, and whatever comes after, perfectly.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read what the stories that are going on in your. So I'm going to close up the show.
Okay.
So if you wish for you or your book to be on the show, go to amysbookshelfreviews.com/podcast. Thank you for listening. Be safe, be well, and always be kind.
Thank you for listening to Amy's Bookshelf Reviews. If you are looking to be on the podcast or looking for a book review, you can go to amysbookshelfreviews.com and look for the appropriate navigational menu. Again, thank you all for listening and being a supporter of this podcast and of the Amy's Bookshelf Reviews professional reviewers of books and audiobooks. Thank you all. Be safe and be well.